Hey babes, welcome back to the O Show, everything crypto every day, and happy Monday. On today's show, we are going to solely focus on Bitcoin price action because the YouTube streets are full of some beef as other content creators continue to go after each other. This person was wrong, this person was right, I was right, you're wrong. And realistically, even though I am a content creator myself, I really don't care what other people are doing. I'm here to make money and I'm here to help you guys make money. Let's go ahead, get into it. If you watched last night's live stream, every Sunday at 6 p.m. PT, you would know that we had some bearish price action occur. We called for about 45 to 42,000, and it looks like we're going to get closer to that 41.9 area, which we should be incredibly responsive to, because if we break below that, things are going to get gnarly. But more importantly, while these other YouTubers are just out here destroying each other, bashing each other, clout chasing, we also have to realize that they're content creators. And that means sometimes drama gets clicks. And that's okay. Me personally, I love to see a difference of opinion. I love to see my colleague over here say we're bullish. I love to see my colleague over there say we're bearish. And the reason why is because if we all thought the same and we all assumed that Bitcoin was going to go up or go down, number one, it would be terrible content-wise. And number two, it's just not fun. It's good to have conflicting opinions and ideas. Because if we don't, then we're just kind of robots and it doesn't make us unique. Either way, you guys, make sure to take bits and pieces of information from my show, this person's show, and this person's show, and then come up with your own trading or investing plan. Do not just blindly follow anybody ever. Anyways, let's go ahead and take a look at the Bitcoin chart. So last night we smashed completely through 45.5. And again, you guys, these are approximates. And we are currently testing the EMA 100 perfectly at $43.9, $44,000. And this is why I like to use EMAs, is because price responds so well to them. And they take into account previous price action. Now, it looks like we did have a swing low of approximately $43,188. However, the bulls stepped in and they started buying up. That's fantastic, but we really need to get a close above this $44,000 area. Now, taking a look at our indicators, RSI, stochastic, and MACD are pretty bearish and they are heading downward. And that's not really a good sign. Ultimately, we would really need to get back above this 45.8, which is also the EMA 50, but it doesn't really look like it's going to happen. Now, taking a look at our 12-hour chart, this is also telling me that we're going to have more bearish price action. And again, we bounced perfectly on the EMA 200 as support, which was nice. However, I'm not feeling very confident, and I kind of feel like we're going to see $42,000 today. If you're actively trading, pay attention. If you're just holding, take a step back. Don't look at the charts because we're in a pretty critical area because we can go up and we can go down. And that could impact you emotionally and make poor trading or investing decisions. Now, the outcome of us getting close to like 41.9 is seeming very likely, paying attention to the 12-hour chart. And even as we take a look at our 4-hour chart, even though stochastic wants to start pulling upward, we really haven't seen that start to happen except for this little wick of the swing wick low at 43.1. So again, I would really need to see us run back up and at least get to about 45 today, at least. But right now, we're not seeing anything that is too promising yet. Personally, I think it might be healthy for us to go ahead and consolidate between about 41.9 to approximately 45.7. I think that that's important to establish some nice areas of support. Either way, this could be a great time for buying altcoins. And of course, we have the president of El Salvador, which is trolling everybody and their moms. I really like this man a lot on his trolling capabilities, 10 out of 10. However, he just tweeted, "We just bought the dip, 150 new coins. El Salvador now holds 700 coins." This man is an absolute legend, and he is fearless of the market. What he's doing here is also known as dollar cost averaging. As far as altcoins go, one project I have my eyes set on is Avalanche AVAX. And it looks like we had a nasty drop all the way to our first area of support, approximately at about $55. Right now with Avalanche, I don't have any, but I want to get in. And I kind of want to wait a little bit to see how the market is going to react. So I will be watching to see what happens and to see where we close. If we can get a close above 62.52, which is the EMA 9, great, that would be bullish. But right now, I'm going to watch for further downward action as MACD looks like it is bear crossing and heading downward, following RSI and stochastic. Either way, I have bids set down here, all the way down to $37, $38, and I'm hoping that those get filled. This next story gets a little bit tricky, and it is from Decrypt. U.S. Homeland Security signs $1.36 million contract with Coinbase. Coinbase's new deal with the US government is around 40 times bigger than its last one. So we all know that Coinbase has been in cahoots with the United States government, industries like ICE and the SEC, and some other aspects of the US government too, which is a little bit worrisome. And it's also kind of bizarre that the SEC went after Coinbase and said, you can't have your lending platform after everything Coinbase does for the United States government. In brief over here, Coinbase will provide the Immigrations and Customs Enforcement branch with blockchain analytics software. The crypto exchange has also provided software to the U.S. Secret Service and Inland Revenue. Well, maybe Coinbase is performing these actions for the United States government so that they can go ahead and release some of the products that they want to release. However, it really just doesn't sit right with me that they're going to be working with ICE or other bodies in the US government and the SEC is going after them. Is this a joke? What's going on? All I know is that I want to kind of follow the money and pay attention to what's really happening. And it just kind of sounds like a lot of surveillance is coming our way to the United States. And this was kind of indicated when President Biden wanted to go ahead and have different financial products kind of track what we're doing if you spend more than $600, because we all saw that PayPal released that notice to their customers. It makes you think, what is really going on in the United States? Now, let's talk about this tweet from Disclosed TV. And many of you may argue that Disclosed TV is not a reputable source. But is CNBC really a reputable source? Is Yahoo a reputable source? Who is in fact a reputable source? Either way, let's talk about it. Just in, Federal Reserve officials, including Chairman Powell, own securities that the U.S. Central Bank has bought during the panorama. Interesting. I wonder if maybe blockchain technology can kind of make some of these investments by these government officials more transparent. Because last time I checked, blockchain technology allowed for people to know what other people were holding, how much they had, and exactly what their trades were. Makes you wonder. All right, this next story is pretty dope, and it is from CoinDesk. FTX-owned derivatives exchange Zubar approved in Gibraltar as DLT provider. And this exchange had previously received in-principle approval in March of 2020. So the most important aspects of this story is that this exchange has offered DLT licenses since the beginning of 2018. DLT is distributed ledger technology. And the exchange's Gibraltar-based owner and operator, Zubar Exchange, is now fully licensed under Gibraltar's crypto regulatory framework. And FTX acquired the exchange earlier this year and has started integrating Zubar's exchange team. This is actually really cool. And the reason why is because FTX is branching out legally to all of these different territories, which I think is absolutely outstanding. In order to work or to operate or provide services in different places, you have to be registered and licensed. And I feel that FTX is doing this the right way, regardless of what their counterparty is doing. Let's take a look. So I recently made a video about Binance and Binance.us. Yes, I do respect CZ as an entrepreneur. However, I did say it might be a good idea to remove your funds from those exchanges because it looks like Binance was reportedly under investigation in the US for insider trading. And this is a story that came out from Crypto Slate this morning. This has me a little bit on the fence with Binance. So we know that Binance was operating in the United States for a long time, and then the US government said, no, you can't operate here. And they went ahead and created Binance.us. However, there's been a lot of turmoil with Binance.us. And me personally, if Binance is under heat from regulators, I don't want to keep my money on their exchange. And that's just my personal opinion. Yes, Celsius is also under heat, but it is for their lending product, not for the actual exchange part, which you really can't do too much exchanging on Celsius. So we do know regulation is coming. And just because a platform like Celsius does get hit with a order to stop operating in certain states, that's not necessarily a bad thing. What that means is they need to figure out what they can legally do and what they can't legally do. And the issue with Celsius and BlockFi is they've been able to operate in these states and in the United States prior, and then all of a sudden the SEC came out and said, no, you can't do that. So it's a little bit bizarre to see those stories. And I personally trust BlockFi and Celsius more than I do Binance at this time. Either way, Binance is under CFTC radar, and I do think that there's going to be some interesting things that happen with the exchange. If you want to keep your funds on it, go ahead. Don't care what you do. Me personally, I just don't feel comfortable with all of this bearish news, especially that countries globally have been coming after Binance. Last story I want to touch on briefly because this impacts the stock market and impacts all of us, even though many of us are in the United States. So collapse in faith behind Chinese firm Evergrande's cash crunch. This story is getting comparison to 2008 Lehman Brothers when they shut down. So Evergrande is a Chinese property giant, and they do business in about 280 Chinese cities. And they're currently going through a liquidity crunch, which is really, really bad for people that have purchased properties through them, loans, work for them, etc. And they currently have about $300 billion in liabilities that is kind of destroying their credit rating because in China, people have a credit rating. So a lot of people are scared. And there was a protest outside their building and it was occupied by unpaid contractors, sales agents, and investors, which when we're talking about investors, it's not just people with a lot of money. It's the small folks, the underdogs. And I'm directly quoting this article. And in apparent response to rumors, the riled investors, the company on Saturday vowed severe punishment for 6 managers found to have redeemed their investment products ahead of maturity dates. So it sounds like they're doing some shady stuff over there, very similar to the industry in the United States when we're talking about traditional finance and 2008. And another quote here, many clients put all their assets and retirement funds into Evergrande because they trusted the chairman and would be at the wheel and nothing would go wrong. That's what they promised them. Again, you guys, it's very interesting to see that a lot of these traditional financial companies are doing really, really shady stuff. They're doing immensely shady stuff, and they're trying to say that crypto isn't safe. The reason why they're saying crypto isn't safe is because they need to cover their own tracks. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a great rest of your day. Be very careful with anything in the crypto market right now because things are getting a little bit hectic. I'll catch you later. Bye-bye.